Hello Guardians, it is Ebontis here, and in this video I want to go over the Veles Labyrinth Lost Sector. Now, I wasn't even sure I was going to cover this one, but it's actually changed enough, for sure, that some people might not entirely know what to do, and if you're new to it as well. Also, as usual, I'm going to do this with no exotics, and trying to do this with relatively new loadouts. I'll give you guys a couple different options on the heavy, but I'll explain why. Got Barrier and Unstoppable, the burn is Arc, so we'll kind of focus where we can there. Shields are Arc and Solar. Now, your solar shields are only 2 wizards, but one of them is like a boss. The other one is going to be just like a secondary one when the boss comes out. And the problem with wizards is their arc damage, that splash, quick firing, rapid thing that they have, will really mess you up. So if you don't have anything to break down their solar shields quickly, it's going to be a problem. I goofed around with like adaptive munitions on Legend. That was even going to be a struggle. Now, Legend didn't hurt as bad, but I will tell you, like at Master, this is not really going to be an efficient way to do this because the way they move, the cover they've got, your positioning to get to them really just doesn't work well. So you're going to need something for the Solar Wizards. Now, the burn is Arc, so taking advantage of that as much as possible has its benefits as well. It's really your call whether you want the heavy to be Arc, be able to pump out some damage. Say you got an Arc Rocket Launcher, Arc Linear Fusion Rifle. Maybe you've got something like the new grenade launcher. All of those would definitely work, and I could definitely see going that way. I went rocket launcher just because I wanted my primary weapon to be Arc. Now, the Arc shields that you have on Master are not that many. You've got a couple of Knights. So if you wanted to go with like an Arc subclass, for example, definitely would be an option. Now, you won't get your Void 3.0 and all of that fun, but theoretically, you could have, you know, the right grenades, the right supers. And if you got the Arc grenades, maybe a melee, maybe even just to pop your super to take out the couple of those Arc shields, in theory, you could, you know, probably do whatever you want. So it's really up to you guys, and I'll show you the run through so you can kind of decide your loadout. This is what I went with because I do get my overshield with Void. Still got a little bit of explosion. The Vortex grenade can put in some work. Arc grenades, though, honestly, probably going to be the way to go. So it's really up to you guys a lot on this one. I'm going to try and do it with Frontal Assault just so I don't have the double grenades option. And I'm going to roll with this one. So I did Void on a previous run. I beat it that way. You could do Solar. I don't expect Solar to be a great way to take out those wizards. So have some way to take out the wizards. You got Barrier, you've got Unstoppable, and the biggest thing I can tell you is this. Whatever your chess piece is, I'm running this on Master, so yeah, I'm higher level. Right here, most of the damage you're going to be seeing coming in. There's a ton of Arc, and you're also going to have enough Solar that these are the best way to go. Void, not really going to matter. Like, unless you have one of the Grasp of the Avarice chess pieces where you got all 3, this is worth it. Right here, you don't need reserves, you don't need anything. Perk of having 2 primaries, if you go Ammo Finders and Scavengers, then you're probably going to be okay. I do have like Elemental Time Dilation, Well of Tenacity, probably not even going to get like that many wells, like any wells to pop. So this is a pretty basic loadout. So let me show you guys and hopefully I can get this done. So again, quick run through of Master. You've got Fire Pit, Barrier, and Unstoppable, no radar, match game, extra champions, Arc Burn is on, limited revives, and Arc and Solar Shields. Just a quick reminder, some of you guys may have not seen this, from now through the end of March 29th, you can get 30% off your order of Advanced GG. So if you're looking to try a new flavor or two, restock on anything that you've actually run out of, now is a great time for that 30% off. So get a couple flavors, make that shipping efficient, and again, thank you all for the support. If you got any questions about Advanced GG, hit me up in the comments or find me on Twitter. Back to the video. All right, now if you played this in a previous season, previous year, this Lost Sector changed. Now, I'm trying to remember when they brought back Cosmodrome, but it changed because now you have like a wall that you have to get through. So you're going to be dealing with a couple of these areas that normally I used to just say run and run all the way down. Now you have to deal with these 2 areas. So my recommendation, chunk that grenade in there, be ready for the Barrier Champion. And this is why Arc and Solar is a good thing. Now here, I'll get a chunk of damage. Now if my heavy was Arc, it would be doing much more. So it's kind of a downfall of the fact that I need the Solar some way or another. And for the wizards, a rocket launcher works. Now, if you want to go with an Arc primary, like in the kinetic slot, so you have, or if you want to go with a Solar primary, as say like a Solar hand cannon, Solar pulse rifle, if you want to do that, that is totally fine. The difference there is that you're going to be doing less damage to your common enemies, but your heavies are going to hit harder, and you're going to break these champions faster, which in and of itself has some benefit. Once you get it to where you can get the finisher, take care of that one. Now, you have to shoot these little runes right here. There's a couple of them around in the second section that have not been in consistent spots. But once you break it, you'll go over here. Now, you're going to get a lot of ads to spawn. So my advice, run a little bit, try and get some of these ads to spawn, and then pull back. Now, Arcane Cannon works well here, because they're going to hurt. Quite a few of them are going to line up at you. And what you're looking for are these little runes on the walls. And I've done this a couple of times. They have moved on me, so you're going to have to do a little bit of searching. Now, I've had one kind of somewhere over in this region, and they're going to have little symbols on the walls. But I have had one that I'm not a fan of because the symbol is arc melee. May as well use the thing. The symbol was basically indecipherable. It was on the wall and basically was covered in like mud is in theory what it would be. And I'll point out where that one is in case it's one of yours. So you'll see this wall here, and you're going to see this room over here. Now what you're going to want to do is check right here. See this little outcropping, this little symbol? This is going to be one of them. Now what had happened to me that knocked it off previously was the Cursed Thrall blew up next to it, but there's also a champion in there. Now, if he explodes, that thing may be off the wall. And again, be ready. My grenade's probably going to hit the champion harder than my heavy, so I'm just going to throw that one. But I may have actually knocked that symbol off the wall, but I will point out very distinctly where it's at. And again, I'm just using the Fell Taradiddle bow. Probably should use my cover a little better. And then push up. And hopefully that Arcgiant doesn't explode right on your face. So, this is where it was, right here on this wall. You find this room with this thing on the ground. Sometimes the symbol can be literally right there. You'll see it kind of actually move a little bit on the wall, which is a little creepy. But that is where one of them can be. Again, I've had them multiple places, so you got to check a couple of these. I've had another one tucked right around here on this little wall. I have yet to have one in here. Doesn't mean it's not possible. Nice thing about Cursed Thralls, they do tend to explode themselves, but you're going to have to check everything. And again, I'm looking for the hamburger symbol. Whatever everybody calls it, that is up to you guys. And that's one of those things. Like, they move. They are not in a consistent spot. So you're going to have to check a few different areas. They tend to be on the walls about eye level, but they don't always tend to be in the exact same spot. And this is why the arc for your energy weapon is going to work very well. Because if I'm going solar here, these guys are just not going to die as fast. And it's just a little bit slower. So again, in this room, one was on the wall. We found that one. And now I'm even going through the searching for the other ones. So I would recommend running this on Legend first. See, here's the other one. But you need to find a way to kind of methodically, talking is fun when you're doing this live, search all of the tunnels. I will say I recommend Arc Grenades, not Void. This is probably going to help a little bit. Now, once you got both, you'll usually be able to get through your wall. And then this is the tunnel of ads. Now, stay back, because you're going to have a lot of enemies. You'll see a champion appear. Then my advice, when you see your barrier champion appear, you're going to want to hit it with a rocket so you can keep it at bay. There, that one. When you can, you're going to want to hit that guy with something big to get it to stop in its tracks. And if you can get it to stop in its tracks, it's a little more manageable than being up on you because it's arc and it's going to hurt a ton. So kind of be able to work some cover. Now you're just going to play the game of breaking the shields. So then if you can break the shields, work some damage into it. I'm just going to sit here and plink with my bow. Be ready to go for the shield because it's going to do it a lot. But again, that arc damage hurts a ton. And again, if you miss that shot and he refreshes, oh man, does that hurt. So now I'm going to get a grenade on him, which is going to be a bigger benefit for damage. Keep pushing him. Get aggressive on those barrier shots. Keep them going. Anytime you see that you can finish him, make the push. But you got to be fast, and if there's anything near him, it could be trouble. All right, so once I go down the ramp a little bit farther, we're going to get some more champions. And there they are. You can have an unstoppable on the left and a barrier up on the rafters. So here is where arc heavy would be beneficial, but I don't have one. So I want to actually turn him around so I can actually see a crit spot. Now, the big thing to know about unstoppable champions is if you get out of line of sight while they're stunned, they're not going to run after you nearly as aggressively. Sometimes they will, you know, kind of glitch out a little bit. But a general rule is if I'm not looking right at them, they won't come charging me nearly as much. Then I can kind of take my time, come back here, reload my heavy. Yeah, I'm sure I'm wasting my heavy a little bit, but I can be ready. See, he's just not in aggressive state. He's much more passive. There we go. Now, same thing above. Now, what's going to happen above? You're going to have an unstoppable champion kind of over there. You're going to have a barrier champion in the back of the upper deck rafters, kind of where those two are at. The problem is when you hit the top of this platform or even kind of touch the stairs, there's going to be some thrall that start running down and hopping across. Now, I haven't had him actually walk this far over. This is going to be a little different. Now, the way he is arc and with that splash damage, he literally, like in Star Wars, dude has the high ground, and it's going to be really tough to fight him where he is. Because that high ground with an arc boomer shot's going to hurt a lot. Now, he's bound to pull back a little bit. But also, the thrall are going to start coming. Be ready with your bow for your barriers. Now, these guys are coming. I would throw this one right here. Try and let that grenade. And then you're going to get hit from every direction. So those are the three things. You're going to have barrier, unstoppable, and then the thrall. If the thrall go down, it's one less thing to worry about. And if you're doing this flawlessly, I would probably get to the stairs and then come back down the stairs, wait for the thrall first. Barrier champion chilling out doing his thing. Unfortunately, he's going to pop his shield if I've done any damage to him. I'm hoping there's no thrall left. Sounds like there is, though. Ow! That is a horrible position. Yeah, he's not playing nice. Yeah, normally he's at the back area. But you've also got an unstoppable guy over to your right. And there is not a great way to manage him either. So your option now becomes deal with an unstoppable guy from far away. Which in theory you can do. But getting out of line of sight's a little bit harder. You kind of have to bounce down here. Now this can be a slow process, but this is a safer way to do it because you're not really going to have a great shot at him from up there. Now I'm hoping that grenade gets up there and hits. It actually will. Unfortunately, the grenade is getting a little wasted, but it's a chunk. Just a little slow process here. And again, having something like a void or an arc pulse rifle like my new Insidious would probably be what I would run, but I'm trying not to use a raid weapon on you guys. But if you actually have one of these things, I love this new weapon. So, definitely a viable option. Alright, grenade's almost back up. This guy is really, really mad. Like, so mad. Now I can get the damage in with the hand cannon since it's arc. Now this is where you can play the head glitch. Now that things have calmed down a little bit, if you play the head glitch, and I say this in a nice way, I can fire, and the way the arc works of his shot, he's not really going to be able to hit me because his has to arc down. So that's the nice thing about the direction of these shots that he throws, is once you kind of get to this point and it's only you and him, you're likely going to be able to manage it a little bit better, mostly because he can't hit you. But if he's got the high ground, that's bad. Finish him when you can. Hopefully you get some heavy. I am running low on that, which will be interesting. Alright, coming up next, you are going to have your arc shielded knights. These are going to be around the corner. They will be coming right about now. Now, my advice, just pop up here. Use whatever arc weapon you got. Be awesome if I could actually hit my shots. And just take these two out. They're really not that bad. Just gotta... They have a big sword. Unfortunately, they don't jump, so they're not much of a threat. One more. Now, while that is void, this is a slow process, but can be done. Because you're going to want to save your heavy. I should not have wasted that first rocket, because I'm pretty sure it hit the corner of the rock. You're going to want to save your heavy for the wizards, and I'm already low, so I'm going to need to hope I get something to drop. I did get some to drop, thank goodness. Push up here. That's why scavenger is a big thing. Gonna have your wizard drop along with some ads. These ads have to all be killed before the main boss will actually spawn. So everything has to die. This is another thing they changed. Normally the boss and the wizard would all spawn together, and you just had to kill the first wizard. But now you've got boss wizard and then mini wizard. Boss wizard sitting here in the middle, and you can tell because of its... And this is where I just go big shot, and it's solar. That's the main reason I'm running solar, is this one guy. Because those arc shots on this difficulty, even with master resistance, which if you throw that thing on double, it's about 40%. If enough of them hit you, you will be in trouble. Like, it's just gonna hurt. Solar also, between like the crossbow guys and the grenades, solar's still good. Now, use your cover. As I said, those wizards are gonna hurt, so you gotta kind of play the cover game. Now, if you can stagger them a little bit, get a couple shots in, and then pull back. There's one more wizard that spawns with the actual main guy. Now, the main boss is not that big of a deal, but guess what we've got? A couple champions. Now, your goal is probably to try and get them together, maybe throw a grenade. If you got something like an arc nuking super, Chaos Reach would be good. If you can stun them. I'm going to try and save my rockets because I don't have a ton of them right now. Now, generally, as I said, you don't want to be line of sight on those guys if they can see you, because they will just start running. And if one gets ready, there's two of them, so you gotta watch both. Now, this is a point to make them pull back. I will not shoot them until I am basically safe. And they will typically just turn around and walk away. Try and focus one of them down. You don't want to try and do this to both at a time and spread your damage. It's just going to take longer. Unfortunately, they're not playing nice with who's in first. Now, that grenade will do a little bit of work, but not as much as I would like because they're not stunned at the moment. There we go. Got one of them down. I've only got 30 seconds, so I gotta be careful now. Now, if they get aggressive on you and start running this tunnel, which can definitely happen if they get to that way. Again, this is the slowest method you can do it. There are a lot of other weapons. That's what I want you guys to do in the comments below. Comment below with your favorite loadout to knock this lost sector out, because there are a lot of ways to do this. And there goes my 15 minutes. So I have no more revives. So I've got to play extra cautious. Notice they got guys coming from multiple angles, and I feel like they teleport up there sometimes. This is why the arc primary for me was worth it, and I would probably go pulse for the range. But there's so many little ads that you're going to want to take care of. With the right damage, it's just going to go faster. And it's just... And these guys do teleport up there, I swear. Because they were down here, and now this guy's up here. So they teleport. So be aware that left side can be an issue. When you see those come out, the boss is coming. Same with the wizard. Now, that was a very conveniently placed rocket, I'll be completely honest. Oh yeah, find your curse thrall, clear those out. Boss will be around. Boss is the easy part. He's actually not he's a kind of a big squishy knight. You gotta be careful about your curse thrall. Thrall, anything that might push up on you when you're trying to go for the boss. When most of your little ads are down, it's really just put a chunk in the boss and stay safe. Now, if you have something like a good super here, that would probably be a good time to use it. Something like Curious of the Falling Star would be awesome for a Titan. Geomags for Chaos Reach would be good. Just delete them. I'm just going to do a little bit of heavy damage on him while I've got it, since I've got a lot of rockets. I cannot die, so I got to play cautious behind these barrels for a sec. That was just a whiff of a rocket. That was fun. Again, he doesn't take too long. You can sit there and kind of stagger him with a hand cannon, to be honest with you. He's the easy part. Everything else takes a minute. So once you're done, hop up top, and hopefully we'll get something good. I got a fugue. Somebody let me know how you guys pronounce that one in chat. But that is a wrap for Veles Labyrinth. So definitely a change from last year, last season's previously. The new, I feel like there's at least one more champion on Master, and also the tunnels are very different. But that is why I do my loadout that way as well. The wizards, you need some solar way to do that. If you got a solar linear fusion rifle, I know there are a couple options, but it's either an old one or a raid one. I would probably go with something like that to give you some nice, very precise, and some more ammo to work with. For Arc, in that energy slot, it does help because you have so many ads to kill. It's just going to make it more of a reasonable option to take out all those ads. You need Barrier, and you need Unstoppable. Now, if you have something like Arbalist, that would be a nice combo in there. So it's Barrier, and you've got shield options covered, which is why I love that weapon. I just try not to use it all the time instead of a bow. Arbalist would be fantastic. Another great option to use. Let's get back outside, and we'll finish this up. But that is a very basic way to finish this thing. Legendaries only, no exotics, never pop my super. And honestly, for all of you guys, there are a lot of good options to use that I mentioned all throughout. If you did enjoy this video, drop a like below. Leave a comment of what loadout you guys liked using. That would be beneficial as well. Let me clear these guys out while I'm talking, since they want to be cameoed in my video. But if you guys want to find me on Twitter, it's Ebontis. On twitch.tv/Ebontis, I'll be streaming this or Elden Ring. Elden Ring's going to be a lot of my variety streams for a bit. Right here on YouTube, if you haven't subbed yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that alert bell so you get my future videos coming to you. And for all of you who are YouTube members or Patreon subscribers, thank you for that extra additional support. All of you are amazing. I'll see you soon. Good luck.